يمشي التراب يضمني وهو غطائي، حولي الرمال تلفني بل من ورائي، واللحد يحكي ظلمة فيها ابتلائي، والنور خط كتابه أنسي لقائي، أنسي لقائي.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, the following point, we have few points left before we start going into the ghusl and the kafan and the burial, the rest of the issues. Here, number 30, shall we tell her, after we found out the person has got a problem, there is a sickness, serious sickness, and shall we tell him or her that you do not have much to live? You might be surprised with this question because you might say, oh, in this country, already the doctors, they tell straight away. But you might be, we all go back home, we visit our families, we visit our friends here and there. So you might be one day, it happened that you are with the rest of the family in Pakistan or in India or Bangladesh. So in there, you know the rules of the other countries. If you are like my country, they will ask the family members if you want to tell the person or not. So the doctors, they won't tell straight away. So is this something that would you like to consider it, or you know that you are in this country and no point, the doctor will tell him or her straight away. The story I'm going to share with you, actually the doctor told the person that you don't have much to live. It was the story to do with Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. When he was stabbed, the doctor came to check on him, and he was giving laban milk to drink. And then when he drank the milk, the laban came from the other side. And the milk came from the other side. The doctor, when he checked on him, he said to him straight away, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, or the Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ahad, means that tell who's going to be after you to rule the Muslims, means that you don't have time to live, you're going to die, you are dying. So Umar ibn Khattab said, Sadaqani, wallahi, he was truthful and honest with me, because he said, وَلَوْ قُلْتَ غَيْرَ ذَلِكَ كَذَّبْتُكَ. If you say something other than this, I will say you are lying, because he knew himself that he is ending, Umar ibn Khattab. And then the rest of the story, we'll leave it how people just start crying about him. Now 31, he or she is taken to the intensive care. Now the person became very, very serious. He was taken to intensive care. Sometimes the person died without intensive care, but this is one of the scenarios. A person might be in a bad situation until he will be taken to the intensive care. Now while he or she is there, she is unconscious. Now remember this. She is on a life support machine, unconscious, until we are to the level that they give him, and they put him under the machine, the life support machine. The life support machine costs, the cost became unaffordable, something very expensive. Whether you are doing that privately in this country or outside this country, it became very, very difficult. Then there is no hope of recovery. It might be no hope for recovery. That's what the doctors will tell you. Now, the scenario or the issue, am I allowed to order the hospital to stop the machine or not? Your beloved person there, your father, your mother, your wife, your daughter, your husband. And in a situation like I described earlier, would you say that, would you do that or not? A decision in this country sometimes is made by the doctor, and when the decision made by the doctor, the department that you are in, then you have nothing really to say, nothing to do, because the decision was made from them. But if the decision was up to you, the scholars, they differ. There are two views. Our Jews, our fuqaha nowadays, there are two views. They're saying if the situation is no hope in terms of the medicine, doctor saying that you have no hope and completely the person is dying, then you can switch it off. The other scholars saying no, because life is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He's the one who gave the life, He's the one who take it, and as much as you can give life, then you should keep it. You should not go for this second decision, which is switching it off. Keep it until, even if it goes for that, let them do it. Don't do it. Don't make a decision yourself. And this is my view. The life is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you never know what's going to happen. You never know. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show a miracle. You never know. And that miracle may be given to you. We, Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we believe in miracles, something called miracle. So it can happen. You never know. And why it doesn't happen to you? Or it can happen to you. So don't give them the permission, or don't make a decision that I want, yes, switch it off. Maybe because you want to inherit, isn't it? You want to take the money. You want to get out of the situation of being, taking, bringing here and there, because the situation of the sickness of the father, the sickness of the mother, the sickness of the daughter, whoever in there. So don't think like that. Think it's about it as a creature. It's a living creature, someone in there. He might say, might Allah give them the life, the person or the female or male, and make dhikr or make something after that. So you need to do your effort. You need to do your effort. Now we are in a situation somewhere here and there. I can't really tell you where exactly, but while the sickness is there, while the situation becomes difficult for the person maybe had some male or female, there is some plan for him. He wants to do this, or she wants to do something that she planned it, she wrote that in her will, and therefore it's a time for us to open the will and see the information in there. As I said earlier, I thought that we covered this point already. The person might say, when I'm sick, I don't want A person, B person, C person to come and visit me. I don't want them. And he might say, when I get sick, get so and so, so and so, and so and so to be next to me. Tell them I want them to be near to me. So this is the reason why we need to open the will, and maybe something to do as well to do with some issues related to his states of medicine. He doesn't want to be taken into the post-mortems, or maybe there are some information he will tell us about it. This is if you already wrote a will. If you don't have a will, then you're making it, in a way, you're making it easy for the family to make their own decision. And in a way, you really didn't care about yourself. But write a will, so when everything is mentioned in there, and it's a time for the executor, for the family members to open it and to see what is in there before the death. So that's why the will is even important, not after you die, before you die. When you are in the hospital, when you are at home, or you can't move, it's difficult for you to move or to do actions, then the family can see these actions in there. We will open it later and we'll see what he said, this person. She may possibly talk to someone. While your beloved person in that situation, you may notice this person will be talking to someone. Don't think, oh, my dad got mad, or my wife became crazy, or so and so really lost the aql. No, it's not because of that. They may be talking, yes, really talking. They're seeing images in front of them, and they're talking to them, because that's the ihtidar. Al-ihtidar, where a person they see, is like an old drama video. It comes back to you and you see all of that. You see, maybe Allah will remind you of a people that you made bad to them, or maybe people that you've been very nice to them, or maybe your close friends, the people you get to see them who are died before you. So you might be talking to someone and you don't, so don't consider the person is something wrong. Possibly the person is talking to the dream that, or the image that he's or she's seeing at the time. She may see some scenes, or people know known to them. So this again, related to previous mas'ala, they will see, or he will see, maybe people are known to him or her, and possibly will go and talk to them. And you'll see the actions of this person a little bit will be changed at the time. He will not pay attention to the people around him. He will be in his own world. The person who's dying will be in his own world, maybe talking, seeing, doing actions, is not with you. Yazid ibn Shajara, we don't have a direct hadith about this. This was learned, the fuqaha, the scholars mention this in their books, and they say this is learned from the experience, from what they've seen. There's no hadith says that you may see someone and you're talking to them, or you may start talking while you are in that situation. No hadith about this. But our scholars mention that, and mention stories like this one. Yazid ibn Shajara radiallahu anhu, you might say the hadith, we can push it into the level being something called in hadith, in the science of hadith, hadith marfu', means that he attributed that to Rasulullah sallam. But why we don't have any other hadith related to this mas'ala? So anyway, he said, مَا مِن مَيِّتٍ يَمُوتُ حَتَّى يُمَثَّلُ لَهُ جُلَسَاؤُهُ عِنْدَ مَوْتِهِ. There's no person before his death, or he or she dying, that the julasa, the people that he used to be with them, he will see them. There will be like an image, something, a video comes in front of him, he will see everyone. The people that you used to be good with them, and the people you used to be bad with them as well. In كانوا أهل لهو فله, so they were good, or they were bad, will be bad. And also we have the story of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. When he died, when the time he died, let me summarize the story. He said to his people or his family, Ajlisuni, make me sit, because he was lying down. So they set him, they put him a little bit up, and then فقال أنا الذي, and then he started talking. Umar ibn Aziz started talking. He said, I am the one who you ordered him, and I did not fulfill your commands. I am the one who you told him not to do that action, but I disobeyed your order and I did it. He said that 3 times. So he's talking, and with that he's talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then, walakin, he said, but, this is all the speech of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, but la ilaha illallah. And then he said, and then he raised his face up, his head up, and he started staring, looking direct, very sharp, looking to the, up there. That's what he says, أحد النظر. And then they said to him, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, you started looking into very sharp, into something, staring to something as if you are looking into a particular thing. And he said, Inni la ara hadra. I see people are gathering in there. Ma hum bi insin wala jinn. They are not from the ins, human beings like us, and they're not from the jinns. There might be malaika. Okay, ثم قبض, and then it's been taken, that died. Okay, now, as I said earlier, there is no evidence, there is nothing from the Quran, all the stories from the Salaf. It was accepted by our ulama, and ulama of Ahl Sunnah Jama'ah, they're accepting this. Okay, okay, so you might see family members, you might see friends, you might see someone that you already, people already died before you. But be careful to go to expand on this, on the seeing, as it might be the shaitan comes to you and talks to you in a different shape. Why? It happened to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, I will come to the story inshallah. This is possibly why it's recommended to say, it's recommended for you to say, because it might be the shaitan. I'll come to the story Imam Ahmad at the end. It's recommended to say, while you are in the situation, to say the dua. If you want to, I think most of you know this dua, because we say this dua at the end of our salah. You say, Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the trials of the life and the death, which is, we say it at the end of our salah, after tashahud and after durood Ibrahimi. إِذَا تَشَهَدَ أَحَدُكُمْ, if one of you makes the tashahud at the end of your salah, فَلْيَسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ أَرْبَعٍ, you seek refuge in Allah from 4 matters. And they are, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhabi jahannam. Very clear. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the punishment of Jahannam. 2, and min adhab al-qabr, I seek refuge in Allah from the punishment of the grave. Number 3, which is in red, can you see here? This is the one we are referring to. وَمِن فِتْنَةِ الْمَحْيَا وَالْمَمَاتِ. And I seek refuge in you, O Allah, from the fitna, the trial of the al-hayat, the life, which is, we know that, and al-mamat, when we die. And when we die, that's why the ulama, they explain it might be shaitan comes to you and just drift you out, trying to take you out in the last minute, his last chance. Iblis is last chance. And the last dua, وَمِن شَرِّ فِتْنَةِ الْمَسِيحِ الدَّجَّالِ, and asking Allah to protect you from the evilness of the fitna of al-Masih al-Dajjal. Okay, the story of Imam Ahmad, when he about to die, fi sakarat al-maut, he started saying, Ba'du, Ba'du. Okay, Ba'du, Ba'du means not yet, not yet, not yet. Means it's going to come, but not yet. So when he got up from that unconscious, he said, he was asked, what happened? You're saying, Ba'du, Ba'du, O Imam. So he said to them, Inna shaytana, the shaitan, kana ya'uddu anamilahu. Al-anamil, these are, ya'ud, he used to bite his fingers. And he was saying to Imam Ahmad, Ya Ahmad, Futtani ya Ahmad, you are better than me, O Ahmad, you are this Ahmad. He's praising him, so Ahmad can get with that proud, and he will be get out of the point. Not yet, because until I get to Jannah, I will be, yes, at the time I will say that I passed you, I'm better than you. Because Allah ordered you to worship him, you did not, and I did. Allah ordered you to leave his muharramat, you did not do that, but I did. So this is, because of this scenario, the ulama said, so you have to be very careful of that situation. But unfortunately, you can't tell the person this. It's just you self. You need to concentrate on that. Because the person in that situation, unless if it's someone like Imam Ahmad to give the reminder, otherwise you have to be careful. Just keep the talqeen in the way how we said earlier. You can't make the talqeen, say the isma' to make him hear it, and the actions during the life, inshallah, will be enough, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, now point number 36. It's not there. And you see, it's not there. I didn't write it. Do you know what is it? Okay, let us now remember something we learned at the beginning of the course, last week at the beginning, and today as well, we started that. What is the fourth reality in this life? Okay. Yes, that one day you will die. Me too as well. So we all going to die. That is a reality, and we don't remember this. We live in this life and we don't remember it. We just living and sync with all this business in this life, and we don't remember that. Okay. It is a reality. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Kullu nafsin, every single soul, every single nafs. It's not because you are rich, not because you are Pakistani, not because you have that seat, so you're not going to have it. Everyone is going to have it. Everyone. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. And also Allah said, Aynama takunu. If you're going to do like Haman or Fir'aun, you're going to build a bridge, you're going to be very, very high. Or like Nuh alayhi salam's son. He said, when his father said to him, Ya bunayya irkam ma'ana. Oh my son, oh my lovely son. Even look at the parents. Look at the parents. Wallahi al-azim, you're not going to find better than your parents. He's kafir. The world is ending. Is the flood everywhere. The father is not giving up. The sons, they're giving up. But the father did not give up. He said to him, Ya bunayya, oh my lovely son, irkam ma'ana, come, ta'al, come, just get into the ship. Just come with us, you'll be saved. What did he say? The naughty, the evil son. He said, قَالَ سَآوِي إِلَى جَبَلٍ يَعْصِمُنِي مِنَ الْمَاءِ. I'm going to go into the mountain, very high mountain. He's going to protect me from the water. قَالَ لَا عَاصِمَ الْيَوْمَ مِنْ أَمْرِ اللَّهِ إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ. No one will be saved from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala today except those who Allah gave them the rahmah, the people who went into the ship. And that's why we all the sons of Nuh alayhi salam as well. So look at the father. You know, everyone is going to have that taste, which is the taste of death. أينما تكونوا, wherever you are, in Pakistan, in this, wherever your states are, you're going to taste the death and the maut in here. Okay, وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ. Now the person has died. We announce the death of this person. What is death? I'm not going to go on medical information or definitions or what other religion goes to that, because we don't have time. It will be useful, it will be good to go into more details, but unfortunately, I'm just inside myself now. I'm worried that I'm not going to finish the slides, so I need to a little bit rush into that. The Islamic meaning of death is, you can have any words to use, any words, you can use them as long as you're giving the right meaning. The separation of the soul from the body. When the soul goes out of the body will be announced is dead. Will not announce the death of the soul. The soul goes to her creator. It goes either into Jannah or hellfire, as we learned in Ramadan class, for those who attended Ramadan class. Your soul will go fi na'im or will go in Jahim, the punishment. But what is dead at that time, we announce the dead, is the body. So the body is dead at that time. So what should I do at the time? I'm crying, I don't know anything, I did not attend the classes, I have no idea about what Islam, but my father died, my mother died, or my son died, or my husband died. I got a call from a student, 11 o'clock in the evening, my grandfather died, what shall I do? So you need to learn, you need to educate yourself Islamically and the other side as well. So now let us start the journey. You need to know that you need to consider when the death comes, you need to consider two matters in here. The first matter, the legal requirements, and you need to consider also the Islamic requirements. Two different requirements. You are in London, you are in England, you are not in Pakistan. You might go just to the field and throw the body in there and you come back. So it's not that, and that even with that, you shouldn't do that. Okay, so there are legal requirements and there are Islamic requirements. Let's start with the first one, the legal requirements, because I really don't want to go through that, but I was asked by some students, they have an expectation to have this. So I said, let me add this information to you. Okay, I'm sure everyone experienced in the family, maybe someone in the family had lost, so then maybe you went through this information before. These are two websites. They will give you full information. Just anything goes not clear, go to the government website. The government website will give you everything that you need. Maybe extra information, you can have it some from other websites. The same websites that I showed you earlier, the government one, and if someone dies, and the Age UK, which is one of the biggest charity organization, gives a lot of information about this. Okay, now the death that the person experience, a member of the family, it can be in the hospital. Are you with me, everyone? It can be in the hospital, which is it might be easier in terms of paperwork. It might be outside the hospital, not in the hospital, outside the hospital. It might be in the street. It might be at home, it might be a friend's house, it might be anywhere. Okay, not in the hospital. Now, if it was not in the hospital, now listen to this, it might be expected death, meaning here the person has a sickness, has an illness, is known by the doctor, known by at least within the 20, or they're saying 48 hours, the doctor was made aware of that. Okay, so that is known. So that's expected. We are aware of that. The doctor is expected that. Or death, which is unexpected death, and because the doctor is not aware of that sickness, he didn't go, and that is making about 2 days, 48 hours. The first situation, what you should do, if the death happened in the hospital, very straightforward. As I said, paperwork is not an issue in here. In general, I'm talking about now here in general, not the person was brought in the hospital and died at the minute when he came into the hospital, and the hospital didn't do any checks or any treatment, then that's a different situation. But we're talking in general, then the hospital will issue a medical certificate of the cause of the death, and then later on I'll tell you what to do after that. Situation B, now we stop here, tell you later on what you're going to do after this. We'll gather all of the situation. Second situation, B, but number 1, which is if the death did not happen in the hospital but was expected. First thing that you need to do, call your doctor, call your family doctor, your GP. Okay. Then, because the GP is aware of the situation, is expected, you have the illness, you have the sickness in there, and as I said to you, is about in about roughly about 48 hours, they're saying, the GP will issue a medical certificate of the cause of the death, and it will tell you what to do after that, similar to the previous one. But who's going to do that now is your doctor, is not the hospital. The emergency, they're not going to do that, is your doctor, because aware of everything that related to you. Situation B, if the death did not happen in the hospital but was unexpected, then call the famous number, everyone knows that. You call this number for other reasons as well, 111, and they will give you, immediately do that, as no delay, don't delay, because if delay, you might be accused of anything. Straight away, call the number straight away. While you are next to the person, they might accuse you of anything. So straight away, call the number and tell them about it. They will give you the advice. They will give you the direction after that. They will tell the police and the other things as well. The coroner will be involved, unfortunately, in this situation. The special doctor, the coroner, will be involved in here to find out the cause of death. This is because it was unexpected, a fit person. There is no record in the hospital, no record in GP, and then this person has to get involved. Unfortunately, they may call for the post-mortem. So if it was a coroner, then he will go for this, or she, they will go for this decision, more likely to go for this decision. However, as we inshallah can see in the will, you can reject this one. If you have a will, then right there say that I would like in his will, or the person says, you can check, use the MIR, so the scan instead of that. And now there is not in London, outside London, there's so many Muslim organizations up north in Midland and up north. They don't go for the post-mortem straight away. There are the people or organization helping the Muslim families to guide them to go and ask them for their rights for the scans instead of having this. Unfortunately, we don't have this. We expect that from doctors to do that, but all some brothers who are involved in this, maybe they can do some effort with this inshallah in the future.
واللحد يحكي ظلمة فيها ابتلائي والنور خط كتابه أنسي لقائي